Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Accessible Technology Podcast, hosted by me, Phoebes Lau. If this is your first time listening to this podcast, this is a podcast that is all about how we can make everyday technology more accessible for disabled people, which is something that I have had an interest in for a very long time, given that I am paralyzed from the neck down, and therefore I can only use technology by using a chopstick or a stylus in my mouth. So if that sounds like something that you are also into, you can follow the podcast now by searching for the Accessible Technology Podcast on. You can listen to this podcast by searching for it on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Audible, and Spotify. However, if you'd like to support the podcast and the content I produce in other ways, you can also support it by going over to the Phoebes Now Buy Me a Coffee page, which is where you will be able to give me a one-time donation, find exclusive episodes that aren't part of the podcast, or check out other products that I will be releasing soon. In this episode, I'm going to be giving you an audio version of the article that I wrote on whether or not the games should be considered an equivalent for disabled sports, and where I give my side of the story and argue in favour. But as today's episode is not on our product, there's no additional notes. However, I just want to explain that the main audio for this was recorded last year in 2022 before the Commonwealth Games took place. So that's why a wee bit of the terminology is talking about some dates that have now taken place in the past. But now that I've said all that, let me jump straight into this episode. The Commonwealth Games will run from July the 28th until the August the 8th in Birmingham, making it the fourth time that England has hosted the Games, having first been held in 1930. The Games has changed its name a lot over the years, reflecting the change from Empire to Commonwealth. The format has changed a lot as well, with 2002 marking the first year that disabled sports was included. But since the beginning of this year, there have been discussions about the possibility of esports being added into the Commonwealth Games, which has also been discussed as a possibility for other sporting tournaments as well, such as the Olympics. I would like to add my voice into the debate, suggesting how it might be a good idea to consider adding games to disabled sport, and what technologies out there could let this happen. While there are many points around the debate concerning whether or not video games should be included in the Commonwealth Games, the one point people against it would make is that it isn't actually a sport. However, for people like myself who are very severely disabled. She could make a case for power sports in general to include them. If we consider how many disabled people could take part if the right technology was provided, but can't at the minute because their disability is too high. Adding some light on the UK, the UK has the biggest video game market in all of Europe, though let's admit it, our relationship with Europe is set at its complicated status at the minute. And we are also the sixth largest gaming market worldwide. In recent years, gaming has become an increasingly enjoyable pastime, especially for the 16 to 45 age bracket, and was known for being a big mental health helper throughout the pandemic, when we all had to find ways of communicating with each other remotely. Table gaming has also become a massive phenomenon in the last few years, with releases such as the Xbox Adaptive Controller and the Reflex for the Nintendo Switch and PCs, meaning disabled people can play games with their peers. So how could all of these technological advances apply to disabled sport? And why would some argue that e-games should at least be considered as a way of including more disabled people? There are 14.6 million disabled people in the UK, and although representation has got a lot better for disabled people across the media, thanks to the nearly 10-year anniversary since the 2012 Paralympics coverage, there are still problems that will need to be overcome by the gaming and disabled sports industry before any decision can be made. One of the sports that this applies to is racing, but also the likes of wheelchair basketball, wheelchair football, and wheelchair rugby, where the disabled person in question has to move around a lot. But what about disabled people with higher level disabilities? Some who are unable to move their hands and legs, and others who are unable to breathe without the help of a ventilator and tracheostomy tube, which would raise a health risk for anyone who wanted to take part in the sport. Electric gas-powered wheelchair technology also isn't fast enough, so disabled people taking part in any of these games would still be disadvantaged, without even adding in the fact that they might have to pull over every time their ventilator comes off, and might require their carers coming round with them. There may, however, be a solution for more severely disabled people to take part in a version of disabled sports if the concept of e-gaming was adopted. Yes, video game developers and designers would have to brainstorm ways to create games that let you play all the games that I've previously mentioned, and whether or not they should include options for what they can choose their avatar to be, even to the point of adding in accessories such as a tracheostomy tube and a ventilator. This would also apply to other sports, such as wheelchair archery and others, where it wouldn't realistically be safe enough for someone to fire an arrow using their mouth. But with the use of accessible technology and game design, there would be a way for people with higher level disabilities to take part in such a sport, even through the likes of touchscreens and AI. So overall, the technology does exist that will allow severely disabled people to get involved with the Commonwealth Games and other famous sporting tournaments. But there needs to be a massive discussion about how things will be run as well. We'll need to discuss how sporting tournaments find out if an actual person with a severe disability is behind an avatar, as well as ways that different disabilities are showcased in avatar form and how this could translate to the actual sport itself. But I wholeheartedly believe that if e-games are to be considered to be part of any sport in the near future, disabled sports are a good starting point so that disabled people of even higher injuries can still feel like they are part of the wider superhuman message in sport that continues to go on. So now that you've heard all of my arguments, let me ask whether you stand on the e-games should be counted as an actual sport debate. Are you for it or against it? And for what reasons do you come to whichever conclusion you come to? And has this episode managed to change your point of view? Well, if you would like to add your voice into this debate, you can do so by including the thoughts in a review wherever you're listening to this podcast on, as well as via my PL Tech Reviews.co.uk website or on my other website, bblow.com. If you are interested in watching any of my previous videos on accessible technology, you can find them by searching for PL Tech Reviews on YouTube. And if you would also like to find some of my accessible tours and reviews, as well as my film, TV, theatre reviews, and political videos, you can find all of them by searching for Female Journalism on YouTube. And I also have another podcast called the Thebes Now Podcast, where I cover all of those topics on Thebes Now Journalism and podcast form, which you can subscribe to by searching for the Thebes Now Podcast on all of the same destinations as you can listen to this podcast on. But of course, there is also the Buy Me a Coffee page. In the next episode, I'll be giving you an audio unboxing and setup of a 14-inch M1 Pro MacBook Pro that I bought last year. And after that, you'll hear my reactions to everything that Apple announced in their September 2022 event. And then after that, I'll be bringing you an episode on my thoughts of Elon Musk taking over Twitter back when all that happened, although he has since, as we know now, left down but stays in place at Twitter until someone else is appointed. If you would like to follow me on Twitter, you can do so by searching for at Phoebes Lyle, and my Instagram handle is the real Phoebes Lyle. But you can also follow the Phoebes Lyle Tech site as well by searching for PL Tech Reviews and following it if you have a WordPress. account. Thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you all in the next one. Bye!